Hi YouTube, we're here again. It's Brian Phillips with you. We got this Flite test Mighty Mini flight trainer, and we got a little power pod in here with an Emax MT 1806 2280 kV, and we're running a 5.545 normal counterclockwise rotating prop. It's a little bit faster than what it should be. Well, a little bit higher, more aggressive pitch, but it's a little smaller. It's supposed to run a 60-30, but I just didn't have a 60-30 with me. Got this model from a buddy along with a bunch of other stuff today. It was just like this strange windfall of tons of RC gear. It was amazing, actually. So I got to give a shout out to Tom. Thank you, Tom. I don't know if you're familiar with this, you guys. This has been out for a long time, and it's a really fun little plane. I'm hoping I can get my son to try some of these things. He gets a little chickenish about this stuff. So takeoff flaps, landing flaps, okay? So basically we've got ailerons, elevator, rudder. A couple things I had to do is I had to trim out a little bit of material here, 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 and here, and then a little bit of material here. And I also made a mechanical adjustment for my elevator because I hate taking wings off. So without further ado, we're running this on 3S. Takeoff flaps, we have about a 10% down elevator correction and then a 15% down elevator correction for full flaps. These are full-length flaperons, so they work effectively. Unlike an outboard aileron. An outboard aileron, they just work weird. So you can get away with spoilerons out there, but flaperons just don't work well. The wind's a little bit upset, so we'll go between the houses here.
Okay.
Wow, that's going to be powerful with 3S. Haven't really totally confirmed that the CG is going to work out. Oh, we're flying an 850 milliamp 35C 3S ready-made LiPo. We'll see. Again, part of the windfall. Oh yeah, got some power now. Yeah, super stable. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps. See how much it slows down? About 30% power there. Full throttle. Gets up and away. Full landing flaps. Got to force the nose down a little bit. Let's take a landing. One thing I got to warn you about on these things. Here, let's check this out, guys. One thing I got to warn you about on these. Once you slow down, you're going to lose a lot of control authority because they have small surfaces. So keep that in mind when you're making your final approach. The other thing is, at one point or another, this tail's been broken, so it's a little bendy. Probably not the best thing for flying, but for no cost, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so as you can see on 3S, it takes off just fine. I flew it on 2S last flight. I have my standard expo setting, which is like 15, 30, and 45, and I'm in my middle setting right now, so I'm going to go to the low setting here. A little bit of windy. It's flying good. Flies like it's got a stabilizer, but it doesn't. Lemon RX, 7-channel, but no stabilization. This one's a diversity antenna on it, but it's got the... What does it have? It has the output for telemetry. Okay, so I'm going to actually trim down a little bit. And I noticed on this 3S configuration, the power is so much more poignant that I'm having an issue where it's really wanting to lift a lot when I give it throttle. I kind of like the way it was flying on 2S a little bit better, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to deal with it. That motor is getting pretty toasty. I don't want to blow up my motor, so I'm going to go get a 2S and we'll try that for the rest of the flight. Okay guys, so we're on a 1000 milliamp 2S nano-tech 25 through 50C discharge, which incidentally fits nice and tight. You get a snug fit in here, which works out well. Throttle cut is back on, and we'll go ahead and get this plugged in real quick. Okay, so since this doesn't have a stabilizer, you don't really have to give it any time to figure out its home position. You can just jump right into flying, which is nice. And I might be just a touch on tail heavy side from this point, but we're going to try it anyway. And I just have a rubber band up here to kind of hold things in a little bit more securely. I believe these are the CG marks here. So you can tell we got a little bit of nose down attitude. Well, it's nose heavy. Take off flaps. Throttle on 2S. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're good. Nice and balanced. I flew for a long time on the last 2S pack. Probably 15 minutes. It was 1,000 milliamp nano-tech just like this. You can see the speed isn't outrageous. To be perfectly honest with you, I'd rather have a slower flight prop out of the takeoff flaps. Kind of touchy right now because of my configuration for differential or dual rates and expo. I'll go back to my standard. Let's launch in between the houses here. But I just kind of want to show you guys, you know, if you're thinking about getting a plane, like a first plane, I don't know if I would recommend this one. It's maybe not like the easiest thing to fly. It's not hard to fly. It's super easy to put together. But Flite Test makes a few other ones that are a little easier to fly. It is pretty stable.
And they are cheap if you're gonna...
Yeah, they're on sale right now for 25 bucks for the kit. But you still have to get the power pod, which essentially is your motor and ESC up front, the electronic speed control. And then of course you have to get your battery. And then you'll have to have a radio system too. So don't forget, there's nothing free. And you know, just because it's a $25 piece of cardboard, or in this case it's not cardboard, it's foam board of course.
You can tell your wife that your plane was only $25.
Yeah, you can tell her that, unless she's my wife, and then she'll know better. It's like a free dog. No such thing. Okay, I'm gonna try some upside down flight. Pretty good amount of pressure to keep it going upside down. But it's super easy to fly. Again, like I was saying, is this a good first plane? It's gonna be resistant to being destroyed, but it might also be a bit of a handful maybe for a brand new pilot. Sometimes I have a hard time gauging because I fly so much, and I kind of use my son as an example. If my son is scared to fly it, then it's not a super easy plane to fly. I've got a 20% or 15% couple on the ailerons to rudder, a mix. Okay, and as you can see, you know, with those flaps on, it slows down the speed a lot. So basically you just have to use two of your channels. You use your aileron channel for one of them, and use, in this case, auxiliary 2, not gear. I use auxiliary 2 for my second one. That's the default setup on Spectrum. If you set up flaperons. The other thing is I'm noticing a little bit of roll tendency when I deploy the flaperons, and I think it just has to do with the mechanism being a little sloppy. Other than that, really cool plane. It's definitely worth a look, but maybe not your first one. Check the link in the description below, guys. You can buy some stuff, help support the channel. We really appreciate you being a part of this experience.